This is the ultimate Cobblemon factory, filled with custom high-powered farms, an endless supply of Pokeballs, and some of the most diabolical trainers Pokemon has ever seen.
Hello there.
God, you make me sick. See, I've been attempting to catch all 151 Kanto region Pokemon and beat all the Kanto gym leaders I can find, but no matter how many times I try, or teams of Pokemon I sacrifice, I cannot beat Misty. And since I am a bona fide YouTuber, I had no choice but to design an entire giant custom factory, producing an infinite amount of Pokeballs to grow my team, potions to heal them, vitamins to make them indestructible, and revives to make them unkillable, to exact my revenge. Respectfully, of course. And what good is a factory if it doesn't start with paving a bit of paradise to destroy the homes of innocent, endangered creatures? So first, let's clear out a little area for our structure. I also decided to check out the local scenery and ensnare a few of its inhabitants, like a Meowth, a Scyther, and my very first ultra-rare shiny Pokemon, which are basically the same monsters, but with glitter. Look at that! That's cool! I got a shiny! And after adding a Sandslash and a Sandshrew to my team, I headed home to finish digging. And just a few short hours later, a once thriving ecosystem has been completely annihilated in the name of progress. But before anyone calls me out for being a self-righteous conglomeration decimating limited planetary resources and destroying local economies for
self-interest and monetary gains,
I did recycle the iron farm from my old base and employed a bunch of villagers from the village over there to operate it, as well as moved all of my old villagers and supplies from my old base. So it may not look like much yet, but this is home. There's also a Magneton right there that I need to capture. Hold on. Give him an old-fashioned gazing-zing. Let's go! Kaboom. And just to get our feet off the ground a little faster, I also went ahead and built the Cobblestone Farm by Big Booty 17. I love the smell of game exploits in the morning. But this little farm is gonna be imperative for the next order of business on our list, the factory floor, which, since this is YouTube, is going to take thousands of stone-type blocks to complete. So I think the next industrial elements on our list are a smeltery and a bone meal farm. Oh my god, oh my god, a shiny appeared. Shiny, there's a shiny. Look at it. Oh, she's beautiful. Giga Drain.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
You killed it. You killed the shiny. Rest in peace, shiny Goldeen. Well, that was exciting, but as nighttime cometh, observe, our starter farms are done. So now we have a self-sustaining smelter and a bone meal farm to fuel it. And while I've just been letting all of our farms run, I've also been collecting about all the andesite that we should need for this project, meaning that we now have a steady supply of all the materials we need. So let's get building this factory. And just like that, the factory floor is complete. And you'll notice a few anomalies in El Sueño, like the carpet here hiding a bunch of the hidden lighting, a couple holes for some future farms, and this not so little centerpiece that's gonna be very important later on for our dear friend Misty. But I'll get to that in a bit. I've also let all of our farms run like the entire weekend almost, so we have plenty of supplies in here to get us through the rest of our project. Speaking of which, I've also gone ahead and built this incredibly simple wood farm by Big Booty 17, so I think I'm gonna have to just rename this entire section of the factory the Big Booty Wing. What?
Bottom.
Don't make that weird.
sorry.
But now all I've got to do is grab a couple saplings here, jump in our minecart, and just as I grow the trees, the TNT falls right inside of it, blowing it up from the inside, meaning that I get all the woody goody I need for this factory in no time. But that being said, the next thing that this factory needs is walls. And getting that much granite is gonna be a real bore. Anyways, so this is a really simple board design by Kevil. I'm really sorry if I get that wrong. But since this server is using the Terralith mod, which adds a bunch of new biomes, including granite caves, all I have to do is press this note block and we can get all the gravel that I probably never really needed in the first place. Oh, and who do we have here? Zubat, Zuckbat, Zukbatabot. Now you get in my ball. And Kachuga. Welcome, Zubat, to the team. But anyways, I'm just gonna run this bad boy for a couple hours and see just how much granite we can get. Well, that did not take nearly as long as I thought it was going to. So great. And look who found me. Doug Trio, dude. Come here. You're next, big guy. That's a 3-for-1 right there. Let's go. Oh my God, there's 2 of them. We can make a baby.
You're really weird.
Come on now, get in the ball. Nice and cozy. Sleepy. You're sleepy. There's a rat nearby. There it is. Got another onyx. That's a 2-fer, baby. Let's go. But now I'm gonna need an industrial revolution's worth of bricks for this place, which actually isn't too bad to get. All I gotta do is build a couple string dupers and a little villager breeder. Make a baby. Do the business. No one can see you. You are in a reflective mirror room. Oh, they're so shy. It's fine. Just do the business. Do the business. But just to keep this place a little more professional for our workers, I have also implemented an entire HR department in the back. So whenever an employee is born, hired, and then the baby eventually will make its way into our little water stream here, get sucked up into the hiring department, and boom, we have a beautiful new employee. However, if we flick the switch, there he goes. Oh, look at that, and he's in the pit. Unfortunately for him, we are not hiring at this time. So yeah. Okay. I admit that was a little messed up, all right? So I went ahead and implemented a nice little suggestion box for anybody that's got any complaints, and all of them will be sent directly to upper management. Now, we have a lot more to get to on this factory, including catching an executor. Light fire on plants like a forest fire. We got him! Check executor off the list. But I've also gone ahead and hired a couple more villagers in the back here. One to get an infinite amount of emeralds, and the other, hold on to that, to get an infinite amount of bricks, which we can obviously just craft right into, well, bricks. So all I really have to do is trade for a couple hours here. Just like that, we can now cross bricks off of our list. But there's still one more material we need for these walls, and that is terracotta, which means I could spend a few days completely redesigning this entire factory to incorporate some kind of gigantic terracotta farm, or the most radical solution of all, mining it by hand, which I know seems like a really lame solution, but just look at that view. But now we should have all of the materials we need to build up these factory walls. So let's get to work. I shall have thee. There it is. Down you fall. Victory is mine. There it is. We caught 151 Pokemon now, huh? Too bad they're not all the ones we need. And just like that, the factory walls are... Dude, I tried to do another Sandiction cool thing and I failed. Why do let me out, please. Anyways, as I was saying, the factory walls are up and done for the most part. But hopefully you can kind of get a sense of the amount of detail we're gonna have to add into this thing before we're actually done with our, oh my God. What are you doing up there? But in order to finish our factory build here, we're gonna need a ton of blocks. That being said, I think the next thing that we're gonna need to do is get a really good source of deep slate for this factory. And apparently have a dance party. We'll dance later, all right? When the factory's done, we'll have a whole party, it'll be great. So first, I guess we're just gonna have to dig a really deep hole. And this is where I'm going to put a very large version of our tunnel board, but it does require a ton of slime blocks. So the next item on our list is going to be a slime farm. I think that should just about do it. And within just a couple minutes, we already have all of the slime blocks we need for our tunnel bore. So let's just give this thing a little bop, 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 bop. All right, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all, actually. It's super, super simple. I've never actually used this setup before though, so this is kind of the maiden voyage. Please don't blow yourself up. Huh? Kaboom! And look at that. Look at that. Diamonds. More diamonds. Dude. Now we're talking. Most importantly, oodles upon oodles of deep slate, baby. So, that being said, I think it's time to get boring. Look at you. Wow. What level are you? Level 24, easy peasy, easy money, easy money, easy money. Hey, shiny Diglett, good job. And kaboom. I think that should just about do it. Let's go take a look at how much I actually got. Just a quick jaunt all the freaking way back. So we got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7 double chests full of deep slate, as well as a bunch of treasures and of course ores for days, which means we should have plenty of materials to get started on the next element of this factory. So let's build ourselves a ceiling. There's a big boy. Okay, well, speaking of big and intrusive, check this place out. The ceiling has been completed. I mean, look at the size of the front door alone, dude. Here, we'll fly out so you can actually give this thing a real gander. But look at this thing. I mean, it's really starting to actually look like a factory at this point. But now that we've got this kind of framed out a lot better, not only is the rays just gorgeous, but you can actually see all the different windows and stuff I'm going to be adding in a little bit later when we get to the details. And judging by the amount of space that we have in this little area, I think you can imagine just how crazy some of these farms are about to get. But before we get to all that, look what I found. This gold duck. Gold duck. There's nothing gold about you other than your ability to die. Okay, slash him. You just got wiped, bro. I'm just gonna do this. You're gonna get Giga Drained. You're gonna get massively Giga Drained right here, and he's gonna get all of his health back immediately. That didn't quite work. Kachuga, thank you very much. Add Golduck to my register, please. But despite making that look easy, we are gonna need a ton of Pokeballs of all sorts of different variations in order to finish our goal of collecting all 151 of the Kanto region Pokemon in this world. Not to mention, I mean, if Misty gives me as much trouble as she has, I can only imagine how difficult the other trainers are going to be. I see you creeping over there. You disgust me. So I think before we finish the detail work around this factory, get any more supplies, I want to get as many Pokeballs as possible just in case something spawns that we need to catch. And one of the first ingredients we're going to need a lot of is apricorns. And welcome to the test world, where I wanted to kind of go over a little bit about how this works because it's a lot easier to show you here. So basically, in Cobblemon, there are all these different kinds of apricorns, and when they grow up, they make apricorn trees, which on the sides of, you can kind of see right here, grow apricorns, which you can harvest and use to craft various different kinds of Pokeballs. Now, you can sit here and manually farm these and wait for them to grow up one by one, but since we're building a Cobblemon factory, we're gonna need to automate it. And although you can't actually grow these little acorns where you want on a tree, what you can do is plant a piece of wood right below where you want to harvest your apricorn and hook up a dispenser to an observer to just kind of do the work for you with some shears. But even this doesn't quite feel automated enough for a factory of our scale. So to fix it, what we can do is add a dispenser with a bunch of bone meal, and then anytime that a piece of bone meal enters the dispenser, it will automatically harvest, and that way the dispenser will always continuously grow the apricorns. This dispenser will shear them, and we can collect all of the apricorns we need without being involved at all. Well, except for loading the bone meal into the dispenser, which is exactly why I built these. So this is actually about 7 or 8 different farms all in one beautiful, not so little package. So basically all this is using our little contraption over there on the actual apricorn collection system itself right here and attaching it to the bone meal farms that we were building earlier. And since these bone meal farms will just run constantly by themselves all the time, we will also be growing apricorns constantly. And by having 7 different segments of these machines, we can actually harvest every type of apricorn in the exact same way, which means that we're also one step closer to crafting an endless supply of Pokeballs, Great Balls, Ultra Balls, pretty much any kind of ball you can imagine. We just have to build them on the survival server, where I've got a lot of space to fill and a lot of redstone blocks to do it. So let's get to work. And boom. The actual farms are almost completely finished. All we have to do is just place in our little apricorns onto the leaves up there. And now for the real test. If I flick this lever, then this module should, in theory, bone meal the apricorns. And, oh, I forgot to put shears in. Oh no, please hold. Oh, what a terrible mistake. Now we should be ready to test this thing out. So all I have to do is flick this lever, and hopefully we should see now the bone meal comes in, they get automatically grown and automatically harvested. Oh my gosh, dude, it's working flawlessly. But now that we've got this thing cranking out bone meal and apricorns, we can actually use it to craft pretty much every single type of Pokeball in the game. There's some that we can't do just yet, but we'll get to those a little later on. But what you'll notice is most of these Pokeballs require 3 different types of ingots to craft: copper, iron, and gold. And since we've already got an iron farm working like a champ over there, let's start with a copper farm. Oh, hang on. There's a Golbat right here. Look at how he fell asleep. Kachuga. All right. And the copper farm is complete. And this is a design by FrunoCraft. And it basically spawns a ton of zombies all into these little chambers. They run all the way to the front and get turned into drowned, where I slice them with a looting sword to get a ton of copper. But it only works in versions below 1.21.3, which luckily for me, our server is. So I'm just gonna AFK here for a little while and see how much copper we can get. And wait for it. Almost. And 1,000 levels, baby. There we go. Now, that actually took me way more than a couple hours. I actually let this thing run basically all night last night so that I could just get as much copper as possible. And the verdict says, ayo, ayo. Oh, look at that. So that's great. I mean, this is going to be a fantastic source of copper for our Pokeballs. Now that we are far away from that farm and all the lag that comes with it, we can turn our shaders back on, and we should have a fair bit of these apricorns, and we do. Holy cow, dude. I didn't even let this thing run too crazily while I was away because I didn't want it to completely decimate the server too badly. Oh, what is that? A shiny Bellsprout for me. Come on in, Shiny Master 1000. Get in my ball. Oh, no, don't be mad. Oh, poor Whim. But I got a shiny. I mean, it's definitely a bittersweet victory. I'm so sorry, Whim. All that being said, we now have 2 of the 3 types of ingots that we're going for to make this Pokeball part of the factory that much better. And then next is going to require a gold farm. So the first thing we need to do is get ourselves onto the nether roof. Oh God, Whim. I died like 3 times in the last 2 minutes. Let's go help Whim for a second. Hello, Whimsical.
Hi.
How are you?
My stuff, I'm doing great, except for the times I've died. That's it. I think it's there. The thing is, I froze to death. So I'm not sure if it's inside there somewhere.
Oh boy.
Tell.
Ah! Ah!
Oh.
Ah!
Oh, it's right here. I can't get out.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Woo, did you get it?
Wow, no.
Oh.
Yay.
Oh, you did get it.
Can I
Good.
wait, stand still?
Huh? Don't
Okay,
try to catch me. Do not. Listen, I'm a very valuable Pokemon.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu!
You know, you and I have kind of similar hair. You ever notice that?
I mean, there's like patches in your head.
Well, I mean, it's not
like
patches.
snow, or
It's
is it
not.
like bald spots?
It's not bald spots. Don't call it bald spots.
You're bald? No, I'm not bald!
It's kind of frizzy, you know? It's like curly and like pokey and
I don't think curls do that.
that's what my curls do. It's a medical condition. I'm sorry I even came. You know what? Enjoy your items and your luscious hair.
Sorry.
I'm
sorry.
gonna go back to my factory of shame with my bald spots and my sadness, and I'm gonna cry into whatever's left of my dignity that I have not much of in the first place, and now I have basically 0. Same as my hair, I have basically 0 of that too. That was so messed up, dude. That was so messed up. I can't believe she called me bald. You know what, Geodude? You're bald. Tell me, how does it feel? Does it feel bad? Do you get upset? I have so much hair. It's a problem. I'm getting a haircut today, and I swear, if you say she's gonna shave it, no, she's not. She's gonna cut it. Anyways, I guess let's break our way up to the nether here. Boom. All we have to do now is build the entire gold farm. So it is done. Check it out. But let me show you how sick this design is. So first, we have to flick of the lever. We climb to the very top and we give him a blast. It gets mad. Come in here. Thanks to our leather boots, I can walk right onto this powdered snow unhindered. And we give him the old ka-chop. And way down there, there's a trail of goods that gets dropped right onto the iceway, pushed by that slime piston, and then just organized into the chest down below. So even if we just AFK this thing for like a couple minutes here, we got 25 blocks in 5 minutes. Not ingots, 25 blocks. I mean, that's not the greatest rates in the world, but it's pretty dang good for how simple this farm is. So I think what I'm gonna do next is just AFK at this gold farm for a few hours and see how much gold we can get. That being said, I have let this farm run for about, I don't know, 12-ish hours, maybe a little bit more than that, probably a lot more than that if I'm being honest, because frankly, I kind of forgot that it was running for a minute. Let's go see how much gold we got in that time. Answer is... Bum, 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 bum. Hey, oh boy, that's what I like to see. Oh, that's what I like to see. That's like 3 double chests full of gold. Holy cow, dude, that is exactly what I need. And probably way more. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, there's so many Pokemon inside of my... Can you guys, oh my god, what have I done?
What have I done?
Now, that being said, now that we've got a good source of copper, we got iron, we got gold, and we got apricorns for days, we can officially craft up an insane amount of Pokeballs for almost any situation that we may come across. And check this out. And as you can see, a lot of these balls have like little extras to them. Like this says 3.5 times on Pokemon submerged in water for dive balls, right? Every one of these is going to give you a little bit of a modifier based on situations. But before we get to Master Balls and all that, I think we need to make a little bit more progress on this factory here to take down Misty and maybe even put some of our balls to work and see if we can catch a few more Pokemon off our list. So first I used a quick ball to catch a caterpillar. Let's go, Weedle. And a dive ball to catch a goldfish. Magikarp, let's go. Oh god, I'm drowning. Then I caught a Muppet. Let's go. And Hinga. Let's go, Hero. And a rather angry Pokeball. Let's go, I caught one. After that, I caught a Nope Noodle. Attaboy. A bigger Nope Noodle. A Magnet. A Pigeon. Siamese Twins. A Clown. Kachuga. And a carton of eggs. Execute. Gotcha. And with that, I think it is time to get back to work on our factory. See, one of the most important steps to becoming a Pokemaster is training. And just like real life, if you don't feel like putting in the work yourself, you can pump your Pokemon to the gills with pills to up their stats like HP and attack. But to do it, we're gonna need some pretty unique farms. Namely, a leek farm. Now, medicinal leeks are actually kind of an interesting crop because, as you can see, they grow in the water, but more on the top of water. And when they grow up, they aren't even quite the size of a full block. But since this is also as tall as they can grow, even if you were to try to use a piston to harvest them, they just break and you'd have to replant them all over again. Meaning that I am gonna need to come up with an entirely new farm design of my own. And this is what I came up with. So what we've got here is basically a row of medicinal leeks that are planted on some waterlogged slabs. So whenever we press this button, the pistons will shoot up get all the medicinal leeks, and they'll either get pushed right into our inventory or into the hopper chain into this chest, which we just grab whatever we have, we replant right there, and continue the cycle. But we can make this a lot better. Because as with most crops in the game, you can bone meal it in order to grow it quicker, so you can harvest it even faster. But replanting is already kind of a pain, and to replant and do this, this is just way too much work for me. So I also added this. And this is actually a really cool bone meal dispenser. So basically we can hook this chest up to a bone meal farm, which will automatically disperse the bone meal evenly to all of the dispensers below. And wherever it leaves off, like right here, the very next piece of bone meal that it gets is gonna go into that specific dispenser. It's like it's got a built-in memory unit inside this thing as well. It's absolutely insane. Look at that. And I wish that I could take credit for this design for the bone meal distributor, but I cannot. It was actually designed by someone named Rapscallion1138. And when you combine our two farms together, what you get is an endless supply of medicinal leeks, which according to the Cobblemon wiki is pretty much the key to getting any of the potions to heal our Pokemon, as well as vitamins to up their stats. Yep, it turns out Cobblemon is very complicated. So let's get leaky. All right, that sounded weird. Let's just make a medicinal leek farm, shall we? Well, the medicinal leek farm is completed, and apparently our factory already has rats. So, Raticate? More like Raticat, am I right? Do I have a Ratatata? Well, it doesn't even matter anymore. I'm throwing balls left and right. Boom, got you two, just in case. But the medicinal leek farm is completed. I went ahead and upgraded the bone meal farm that we were using just for bone meal, added 3 more modules to it, including one for said farm. So now, not only is it mostly automatic, minus the part where I have to, plant them manually, but it's also filling automatically as well. And this thing here really hasn't been running very long at all. Like I just turned it on maybe like a minute or two ago, and it's already got half a stack in there. So this is gonna be awesome to getting all of our stuff. So now for the ultimate test, let me do this. Let me grab one I had in my chest and let's give this thing a whirl. So we press the button, they all get harvested, they all get sent to me or down into the chest for harvesting. I flick that and they grow. I can also press the button on this side and it does the same thing. So now dual buttons means even more beauty, and kaboom, we've got all the medicinal leek we're ever gonna need. Dude, it's so sick, holy cow. Look at that, we got over a stack in like 20 seconds. Gloom, can you believe? But these 2 remaining farms right here are going to be very important for the remainder of the ingredients we need for said vitamins and potions. One of which will be used to harvest all the berries we need, and the other is mint leaves. Both of which have their own very unique growth mechanics, and thus each will require its own very customized farm. So now that is a little bit better. First, let's take a look at the mint farm. Mint behaves very similar to other crops like wheat and beetroot, in that in order to obtain it, you have to break it. So if we break the mint, as you can see, it disappears into the minecart and gets put into the chest where we've got mint seeds and red mint leaves, which we can just plant right on back we flick this switch, and using the same sort of bone meal dispenser that we had on our leek farm, we can kind of just sit here and plant these over and over and yada yada until we're done. But the berry farm, on the other hand, is actually a little bit different and a little bit trickier for me to figure out how to actually farm these bad boys, because there's so many different kinds of berry bushes in Cobblemon. Like, I've got about 8 different kinds in here right now, some of which were obtained by less than moral ways. There it is! Oh, he dropped it. Fantastic! But anyways, the way that berries grow is either on their own or with bone meal. And when you bone meal them, there's always a chance they'll actually grow a berry. And thanks to our little observer, it's going to trigger this right here, which has got a bunch of shears inside of it. It automatically shears and puts them into our chests down here. And we can sit here and spend all your bone meal getting all these manually if you come right down on the bottom side of it as well. So it's kind of a manual option to an automatic farm that I let run. Oh my God, is there a UFO? What's happening? That was so terrifying. But I let this thing run for way too long, and it nearly killed the entire server. But that also means that I have a plethora of apricorns in the chests as well. So the pros and cons, you know? Shiny squawkabilly. What is a squawkabilly? Dude, I don't even know what a squawkadilly is, but I want to catch it. Hold on, there's another shiny. You got to go for the shinies when you can. Shine when you can. Oh, also, I got to catch you too. Give me a second. I'll come for you in a minute. You seem like a squawkamaka, and look at those particles. You're definitely a shiny boy or girl. I don't know, but guess what? It's time to fight. Gloom, attack. Just kidding. Keep him distracted. There you go. Oh, he never saw it coming. Squawkabilly, guess what? You're gonna have to shine in that ball forever. Come along, Gloom. Dude, it's so easy. It's just so easy. Speaking of which, watch this. I don't even need to do anything. I'm just gonna catch a primate like it's not a big deal at all. Kaboom. Get in there. I'm not even gonna stick around. I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna walk away because I know. I'm like Steph Curry on a 3. Kaboom. Oh, he got out. Never mind. Oh no, Steph, don't judge me. Now you get it 2 times. All right, there you go. Ah, much better, much better. Great job, Articuno. Way to just hold him in there. And oh God, I'm trying to do the cool walk away. You gotta, don't you punch my Articuno, dude. And now I Ultra Ball and I can walk away confidently knowing that you're gonna be in the ball. Ah, that's great. Great work. Good job, Articuno. But now that we've got an infinite source of berries, of mint leaf, and medicinal leek, we should be able to craft pretty much every protein, vitamin, HP up, ether, revivals, and super heals we could possibly need to take down the most fiendish trainer in all of Cobblemon, Misty. Who will not leave me alone. You're such a creep. Go away. Find some friends. But with all that out of the way, I think it's time that we get back to work on the factory itself and add a little bit of detail and, you know, like windows for those gaping holes and maybe like a front door or something. I don't know. And in order to do it, we're gonna need a couple additional farms, including this sea pickle farm that I built because frankly, I was sick and tired of getting lime dye for all of the different farms. Speaking of which, we're also gonna need to build a sand duper for all of the windows and glass. It's absolutely beautiful. Ian X04, I think I am in love with you in a very respectful and platonic way. Okay. And a froglight farm to give our factory that nuclear glow. That was literally like 10 minutes, dude. This thing is absolutely insane. But that being said, I believe that we should now have pretty much everything that we need to make this factory, complete. So I think that's pretty all right for 3 entire days of work. Don't mind my string. So now when people come to the factory, this is the view they get, huh? And it's kind of like a medieval kind of feel, right? But also very open, very welcoming. We're all very excited about it. Even Misty's excited, huh?
We did it!
Stop saying we. There is no we. But from the front, we've got the nice Pokemon logo ball thing right in the center. We've got the smoke coming out of the top of the plumes with like the green and gray and just kind of gross, and you definitely don't want to inhale any of that kind of feel to it. But also within the Pokemon ball logo right on the front, I actually put a little Pikachu. Huh? I used like a pasture block here to allow a Pokemon to roam free, and then I encapsulated it into a prison. So is it free? Freedom is a mindset, I guess. And when you walk in here, you can see I changed all of the shroom lights to the frog lights in the entire place, so it's got a lot more of that kind of nuclear green glow. I also organized all the villagers. I brought all the ones from my basement and put them over here. I've got my full-time portal guard hard at work doing his best over here. You know, you just keep up the great work. You're doing great things. I've caught a shiny Zubat, which actually I haven't yet caught, but I'm about to. 1 second. That's much better. I built a nice little walkway up to the farm, the wood farm up here, which again, green glow, because why not? The whole place should be green and red. It's like a Christmas factory, but instead of bringing joy, it lights living things on fire. I've also gone ahead and added these little water elevators to each of the corners that will pop us up right onto the second floor of the factory. But it's way easier now to get to the smelter and to a few other farms that I still need to add before we can call this place complete. I hope you look around and you see your soon-to-be demise. Oh. I guess sooner than I was expecting. But what I think really stands out about this factory, what I think really makes it such a cool build, is looking at it at night. I mean, just look at this place. I'll fly around. Y'all fly around for you. Y'all can see. Look at this. Look at this, dude. It's so creepy looking. But I mentioned earlier that there's actually some really cool things that we can craft with some of the ingredients that I've been farming, like the mints and the berries and the medicinal leeks back here. But there's still a couple more ingredients that I need to get in order to complete the factory farms and get all of the things we need to beat Misty. One of which is a very special farm called an energy root farm. And this is actually a really cool kind of simple farm that I came up with because it actually only grows on the ceiling underneath stone blocks. So in order to harvest it, what you have to do is first you have to flip this lever, and what that's gonna do is basically use some bone meal from our bone meal dispenser to just continuously farm the stuff over and over whenever this lever is on. And the way it's doing it is by using a piston back here with a little bit of delay between the two pistons to push that stone back and forth. So whenever the energy root grows from the bone meal, it's immediately getting harvested and coming straight into our chests right down there. And we should be pretty much good on all of the actual Cobblemon specific farms to get everything that we need. The only things we have left are a couple vanilla farms I still need to build, like a honey farm to get honey bottles and a sugarcane farm to get sugar and paper, apparently. But there's still one more farm that we need in order to craft the most important of any of the items we're gonna need to face Misty, and that is protein. And you can't make protein without a little bit of raw, uncooked flesh. And I did find a really cool raw meat farm, but in order to make it, we're gonna need to capture one of the most elusive, sneaky, diabolical Pokemon in this entire world, a fox. Okay, well, he's not very, like, scary and deadly yet, but a fox with a sharpness 5 sword, that is the stuff of nightmares. Now come here, I need you to come home with me, get in my boat. It's only a few thousand block journey, don't worry, we'll get there in no time. Fox, stay with me, big guy. Ah, yes, home sweet home. Come along, Foxy, this way. Ah, welcome home. You've done it. Well, I did most of it. You just kind of sat there, but still, welcome to the team. Oh my God, you look so cool. Well, don't be shy. I'm sorry. Anyways, what I was saying, all we have to do is build up a little food farm. Ah, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Well, actually, there's one more thing that we need to grab really quickly, and that is my egg collection. I put these chickens in here every time they spawn from like the very start of this factory, and oh my God, I have spent far too much time on this project. The way this thing works is we throw in some eggs, right? And all these chickens will just lay eggs naturally, obviously. And as they do so, they are going to funnel into that hopper, into that dispenser. And as long as this is activated, they're going to fling out eggs automatically. As they reach maturity, hopefully it'll be just high enough that our foxy little friend up there will be able to slice their freaking heads off. But we'll just clean up a few of the little stragglers around and not feel guilty whatsoever about it. Actually, I do also need to catch this little thing here. Give me a second. There he is. But with all the farms complete, that means that it is time to start crafting. And the first thing we're gonna need is a few brewing stations. And this little system is gonna be great for getting us potions and super potions, hyper potions, all that good stuff. But it's not just the different potions that we need. We also need to use medicinal brew as an ingredient to craft a lot of the stuff that we need still. And that is where these puppies come into play, because it only takes a single medicinal leek to brew a medicinal brew, which sounds like a pretty easy thing to automate, but it absolutely was not at all simple. So I actually ended up going to the Redstone Reddit, and I found this great design by Sparks808, who actually came up with a really clever idea to use an entire stack of whatever item to brew, along with some comparators to make sure that the little hopper doesn't empty the bottles inside until after everything is brewed up. It's super complicated, but it's super cool. But while I was building all that, our chickens have been hard at work growing, and our fox has been hard at work slaughtering. And we've already got a bunch of raw chicken ready to rock and roll. We've got more on the way. And of course, oh, I survived. A bunch of berries and things ready as well. So we are pretty much good to go to craft up everything that we need. So first, I crafted up some HP, iron, and protein vitamins to yoke my anti-misty dream team to the absolute gills. Then I crafted a ton of healing potions, elixirs, and max revives, just in case this goes horribly wrong. And finally, a choice band for every member of my team to boost their attacks by 50%. I call this the Gloom and Doom team. Huh? Get it? Because it's Gloom and you guys are the Doom. Okay, you missed it. It's fine. But check out all of these guys' stats, dude. It's insane. They are like maxed to the gills. These boys here. I kind of messed up Gloom. Very HP oriented. But they are lean, mean, misty-eating machines. I'm looking at you, Tropius. But that being said, I think we are officially ready for our big battle. There's just one tiny little thing that we need to take care of first, and that is a death trap. Okay, it doesn't look like much now, but right above our little mine hole here, I have placed 2 pistons patiently holding up a bunch of signs underneath some powdered concrete. One of which is holding up the concrete under my feet, and the other under Misty's. So if I win the battle, I flick this lever and send her straight down to the underworld from which she climbed out of. But if I lose, I flick this lever and I lose my life, my dignity, and the 1,221 levels that I've gotten throughout this entire process. But before I do, I was digging around through some of my chests and I found a leaf stone, which apparently can evolve soy tin Pokemon. Evolve. Oh my goodness, this happened right in front of your eyes. Get ready, Misty, your nightmare has come. It's Victory Bell. You put the victory in Victory Bell. That is right, my friend. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's battle. All right, Misty, are you ready? You better be ready. Here we go. Time to my skills. Time to your skills. Yeah, you hide your Pokemon back there. Yeah. You better freaking gate him off, little psychos. Give him the sleep powder. Heat him good now. Okay, great work. Now, what I want to do is while he's asleep, we're gonna switch to the Victory Bell. Victory Bell is gonna fight and Power Whip. And adios, sucker. You gonna show a Starmie? I'm gonna Power Whip. Why do you get to go at all? Adios, sucker. Power Whip. Oh god, he died. All right, Gloom and Doom, time to show him his boss. Let's do it. Oh god. Good night. I want to use this. Yeah, live to fight. Let's go. We're gonna switch you out for Victory Bell again. You're gonna fight and hit him. Smack that fox thing. Adios. Oh, it's looking real bad, Misty. Looking real bad right about now. Oh, you might have taken that shot, but you're about to shoot something. Let's go! Oh my god! Oh my god, I did it! I have done it! And you... Oh, Victory Bell. No. You don't get out that easy. Oh, Misty. You absolute fool. Look at me! Now, Misty! It is time to say our goodbyes. Adios! Woo! Splat! Oh my god, it feels so good. Did you see that? Oh my god. Well, thanks to an entire factory of supplies, a very dedicated and OP team, and of course, a very, very smushed gym leader, my dream has finally come true. Oh my god, she's back! I just murdered you! How is she alive? Fine, the ghost of Misty can have the factory, okay? You psycho. But I still had a ton of Pokemon to catch and a handful of gym leaders to defeat. And despite having a new badge under my belt and all the tools and supplies I needed to reach my goals, I realized I didn't just want to become a Pokemon master, I wanted to become a Pokemon legend. Mew.